I swear it's never easy being a Vikings fan. How do we go from up 17 nothing at a point and even up 17-7 to where we barely win the game? It's so frustrating because this is a talented team, but it's just never easy being a Vikings fan. But anyway, really long way of me saying the Minnesota Vikings coming out with a 23-17 win over the New York Jets. It is what it is. A win is a win, as they say. I hate saying that, and I have a feeling I'm going to be saying that a lot this season. But 5-0, wanting some mo heading into the bye week, and now everybody goes to Cabo for a week, and we get ready for the Lions after that. So we got our winners and losers for the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Jets, and we're going to go through it here. So first off, man of the match, or at least the player of the game for me, is Stephon Gilmore, because that interception at the end there was so big that I don't think, because, I mean, you guys saw it. The momentum was all shifting in the way of the Jets. Like, that's just how it was going. And it's one of those things where if he doesn't make that play, I think the Jets score. And they possibly win the game. They most likely win the game. And so you got to give it up for Stephon Gilmore coming in and playing like that, especially when they needed him most. And fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So Stephon Gilmore really starting things out solid there. Also, in my mind, Andrew Van Ginkel deserves MVP at this point for the Vikings defense, because got his second pick six of the season, including one over Aaron Rodgers, which you love to see, more because it was Aaron Rodgers. But overall, hey, pick six really set the tone. And that's the thing, what it was is the defense scored as many touchdowns as the offense did today. Like, not good. Not a good day for the offense. We'll get to them and losers, trust me. But Andrew Van Ginkel has been such a big addition to this team, both from rushing the passer, but also what he can do in coverage, what he can do. He's just a chess piece. You can move him around and do anything with him. I love to see it. Harrison Smith also had himself a really good game, 6 tackles, also had a sack. Was a little bit out of place on that Allen Lazard first touchdown, but I don't think that was all on him. Overall, he got another sack on Aaron Rodgers, and you love it. You just love it. So Harrison Smith had himself a very, very fine game. Cameron Bynum, 6 tackles and an interception where, yes, Aaron Rodgers overthrew the receiver on that play, but I don't care. I don't care. Aaron Rodgers getting a big-time interception. Ivan Pace Jr. had 4 tackles. Now, didn't love the roughing the kicker call, is what it is, but overall did have a sack and was setting the tone, was fast and furious, made a couple tackles for losses, and he's just an absolute stud, making plays all over the place. Also, Harrison Phillips had a couple of tackles, including a sack that really did set the tone for the Vikings, and so I really do feel like he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done on the inside there, and yes, he has looked really, really good. Blake Cashman, he's one of those guys that 5 tackles, so it was about second, third in the team in tackles, and just in the middle, like making plays, and he's doing exactly what we brought him in to do. So you do love to see that as well. So also, like, the special teams wasn't great, but Will Reichard is a nail driver. Like, he just, when we need him most, I'm gonna knock on wood here because like us Vikings fans are completely scarred by kickers, but overall, like, he was pretty solid. Hit that 54-yarder, also hit that one late in the game there to really give the Vikings a lead, and that helped them to keep it. And really, I mean, anytime the Vikings are up by 7 and they have, when they have the opportunity to get a chance where they can potentially get a field goal and make it a double-score game, Will Reichard has been on point. So that is what it is. Ryan Wright was pretty solid as well. Had himself a couple of really high hangers that allowed the special teams to get under it, so you love that as well. Trent Sherfield made himself, a couple of nice catches, if I do remember correctly. But overall, did have himself a pretty solid game. Or no, maybe it was a special teams play. Can't remember what I wrote down for Trent Sherfield, but I felt like he played pretty well. Sam Darnold, now the last couple of drives of Sam Darnold. Essentially, it comes down to the fact that he was horrible for most of the day, finishing the day. I think he was, 14 of 31 for $179, no touchdowns and interception. Like, he was ass for the first most of the day. But the way that he came back in and did his thing when the Vikings needed it most to get him into field goal range and do that, like, in the fourth quarter, he did his thing. And so when you needed him most, he made his plays. They got to clean it up. They got to get a lot better, especially if they're going to play the Lions. But big-time stuff from Sam Darnold when you needed it most from him as well. Justin Jefferson, continues to be the Vikings' number one leading receiver. Just keep getting this guy the ball. It is what it is. 6 for 92, and yeah, he just continues to do his thing there as well. So for as far as the winners, the offensive line was horrible. So we'll get into that a little bit. So the Ty Chandler fumble, I don't necessarily put that on Sam Darnold, but I would say that Ty Chandler is, he is definitely going to get a lot more run now that Aaron Jones seems to be hurt. But overall, you can't fumble like that. Like Sam Darnold put it right on his outside shoulder. He's got to be able to catch that. Just how horrible. Caleb Evans just kind of constantly just. He might be finding his last time as a Viking here. The offense was horrible today. You just couldn't get anything going. And yes, you started out 17-0, but the defense scored more touchdowns than you did this year, or at least they matched your touchdowns this week. Ed Ingram, please let Dalton Reisner be good to go. It's just horrible. Letting out multiple pressures. I think he was even in on that sack. I think he was also the guy that let up that pressure on that key third down to Justin Jefferson. Even the interception, just pressures all over the place when it comes to Ed Ingram, and not great. Not great. Also penalties. Can we not just figure stuff out? False starts, all that kind of stuff. Just big time drive killers, and you can't have that happen. The punt coverage for the first part of the game was not great. I think there were a couple of big time returns that set up that Packers touchdown right before the end of the half, where it's just not great. You hate to see that. Also, Blake Brandel, another false start. We can't have it anymore. He's been solid, in between the lines when the ball snapped, and he's doing his thing. He's a really good guard, but needs to clean up the penalties. As far as the rest of it, people want to say the refs, people want to say all this different stuff, but you got to play better than the ref, and the Vikings offense did not do that today. The defense did, but